going to talk about number 6 for Benjamin Banneker. And I will be honest, if you got this one wrong, I will go ahead and make the guess that it is because you saw that all of the summaries were a little bit longer and it wasn't worth reading. And that is crazy. Ironically, the only way you would be able to figure out the answers for a summary question like this is by reading every single one and deciding which one's the best. So I'm hoping that you'll use this time to learn this lesson and put effort into questions like this from here on out. It says number 6, what is the best summary of the passage? A, Benjamin Banneker learned to read and write, but he didn't stop there. He discovered ways to do things better on his family's farm and even made a clock. Benjamin read and studied everything he could. Then he used all that he learned to help plan Washington, D.C. That sounds perfect. It talks about the fact that he liked to read. It talked about the way that he was always discovering things, even on his family's farm. Talked about how he made the clock and he studied and he ended up helping plan Washington, D.C. But just because it sounds perfect doesn't mean it's my answer. And I really have to look at all of my answer choices. It says B, Benjamin Banneker went to school, but he also learned many things on his own. He worked on his father's farm. Benjamin worked hard to make a clock without the help of books. His neighbor was surprised and wanted to help Benjamin. That honestly sounds really great too, because he did go to school. He did learn things on his own. He worked on his father's farm and he did work hard to make a clock without the help of books. And his neighbor was surprised by this. However, it forgot to mention the whole part about him helping with Washington, D.C. And honestly, it was a pretty big part, such a big part that they used a picture of Washington, D.C.'s mapping. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of B and say that that is not an answer choice that I want to consider. C says Benjamin Banneker read and studied all the books he could get. From these books, he learned about many things. His neighbor told Thomas Jefferson about all that Benjamin knew. Thomas Jefferson asked Benjamin to help plan the capital city, Washington, D.C. Now, Benjamin Banneker did read and study all the books he could figure out, and he did learn a lot. However, it really left out a lot of the part about him having struggles and wanting to learn more, but didn't have the opportunity. So, but it did mention the capital, him helping plan the capital. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of C because I do feel like A is a better choice. D says Benjamin Banneker learned how to make a clock by himself. He also made better farm tools and thought of better ways to do things on his father's farm. He studied many books to learn many skills. Benjamin could work even the most difficult problems. Yes, Benjamin Banneker did learn and make a clock by himself. He did make those farm tools better on his father's farm. And he did read a lot and learn new skills through that, and he could do the more difficult problems. However, it doesn't mention the part about him helping to develop Washington, D.C. So I'm going to go ahead and slash D because it failed to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and go with A as my answer.